Welcome back. Today we're diving deep into the life of Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, often known as Mahatma, the Great Soul.
Right. Our mission really is to look at his methods, his huge achievements, and why his ideas still matter so much today.
He's this icon of nonviolence. Bapu, or father to many in India, led the independence movement.
And yet it ends tragically.
Yeah,
Assassinated in 1948 at 78 is quite a stark contrast.
it really is. But his impact is undeniable. His birthday, October 2nd, is now the International Day of Nonviolence.
A global recognition. So where does this journey begin?
Well, he was born in Porbandar, India, 1869, Gujarati Hindu family. And interestingly, the man who moved millions was apparently quite shy as a student, tongue-tied even.
Yeah, that shyness is a recurring theme early on. But his core values, especially around truth, seem to have formed early. He was deeply influenced by some classic Indian stories, like those of Shravana and King Harish Chandra.
So that idea of truth was embedded early. Then comes the big change, London.
Right. He finishes high school, 1887. He's off to London at just 18 to become a barrister.
But the shyness followed him, didn't it? He tries to set up practice back in Bombay.
And it's a bit of a disaster, professionally speaking. Apparently, he froze up, couldn't cross-examine a witness in court.
Which is incredible considering what came later. But that failure, well, it redirects him.
Completely. Because he couldn't make it work in India, he takes a job offer in South Africa in 1893.
And South Africa.
Yeah.
That becomes the real turning point. He spends 21 years there.
That's where it all crystallizes. His politics, his ethics. It starts, famously, with him facing blatant discrimination because of his skin color, being thrown off a train.
And instead of just going home, he decides to fight it.
Exactly. And that decision leads him to develop his most powerful tool, Satyagraha.
Satyagraha, devotion to truth. This is his major achievement, wouldn't you say? Leading India's independence movement was built on this.
Absolutely. He first really used it back in 1906, fighting against forced fingerprinting for Asians in South Africa.
We hear nonviolent protests, but Satyagraha is more complex, isn't it? It's not just passive. How did it actually work against, well, the British Empire?
That's a key point. It's not passive, it's soul force. The idea is love conquers hate. It's strategic. You willingly accept suffering. You don't retaliate with violence.
Which forces the opponent to confront their own actions.
Precisely. It aimed to transform the oppressor by highlighting the immorality of their violence. It's rooted in ahimsa, which isn't just not harming, it's active love, active compassion. That's the engine.
So he brings this back to India in 1915. He's 45. By 1921, he's leading the Indian National Congress.
And importantly, his campaigns weren't just political. He launched huge nationwide efforts tackling poverty, pushing for women's rights, religious harmony, fighting the caste system's untouchability.
And identifying with the poorest, adopting the simple short dhoti. For a London-educated lawyer, that was a really powerful visual statement.
It was. And all this leads to perhaps his most iconic act, the Dandi Salt March in 1930.
Right, the 400-kilometer walk to protest the British salt tax.
The genius was choosing salt. Everyone needs it, so the tax hit everyone, especially the poor. It turned defiance over a basic necessity into this massive symbol of injustice.
And it brought huge numbers of women into the public sphere, didn't it? Gave them confidence.
A major social shift alongside the political one. If you want one quote to sum up his philosophy, his achievement, it's probably from 1927. God is truth. The way to truth lies through ahimsa, nonviolence.
God is truth. And the path is nonviolence.
That core belief is why he's still so relevant. You look at leaders like Martin Luther King Jr.
He explicitly studied Gandhi's methods, right? Adapted Satyagraha for the civil rights movement in the U.S.
Exactly. Showed its power in a totally different context. Nelson Mandela, the Dalai Lama, too. His influence is vast.
Einstein saw it, too.
Yeah.
He called Gandhi a role model for the generations to come. Said his moral influence would last longer than perhaps people realized at the time.
So, thinking about what we can learn today, here's maybe a final thought to leave you with. We often focus, understandably, on Indian independence as Gandhi's legacy, political freedom. But think about the UN creating the International Day of Nonviolence in 2007.
Decades after his death.
Right. They weren't just celebrating a historical victory for India. They were recognizing his method, nonviolence, Satyagraha, as a universal principle, something the whole world needed to embrace. Maybe that shift from national tactic to global ethic is the most profound part of his achievement for us now.